Hello everyone and welcome back to the Smallholding. So in all honesty, I am a little bit into all these kind of woo-woo weird things. I like to try all sorts of different things, and I'm very much into my natural fertilizers and homemade stuff. And one thing I've been looking at for a while now is electroculture. It actually goes back quite a long way by all accounts, and the basic principles of electroculture is to use copper wire to harness the natural sort of atmospheric positive and negative charges that are on the whole planet. Everything is charged, isn't it? We're charged. Pretty much everything holds a charge, and the whole idea is to harness that and draw it down into the ground, where somehow I think the science perhaps isn't fully known, but somehow it is supposed to help plants to grow, increase yields, healthier plants, lower pest problems, better uptake of nutrients, all this sort of stuff. There's lots of stuff on the internet about it. You could read all day long, but I've been wanting to try it for a while. I bought this copper wire back in the winter with a view to doing a spring video and following it through the summer. Left it in the garage and completely forgot I had it, but I'm going to make some up today and just give it a go and see what happens, really. So there's all sorts of different designs of antenna that you can use. The most basic really being what I'm going to do today is I'm going to use 4-foot canes, and I'm going to stick the wire in the bottom and then wind it around clockwise, because northern hemisphere you're supposed to go clockwise, southern hemisphere anti-clockwise for some reason. But yeah, so I'm just going to wind it up the cane. I don't really know how many times. I'm just going to kind of wing it, really, like I do in most things, and then I'll come up to the top, and I'll perhaps come over the top a little bit, and I'll just bend the end over so it's safe and I don't accidentally stab myself in the eye with it. I've got a drill just in case the cane, I can't get it up the bottom of the canes very far. I'd like to perhaps push it up an inch so that it doesn't come out and mess about with the coil as I push them into the ground. So I've got that just in case. So this wire that I bought is pure copper wire. I can't remember the length. I've got a feeling it's 20 meters. It might have only been 10, I can't remember. But it's 3 mil thick, and I think it's probably better to go for slightly thicker stuff, because it's then stiffer and you can sort of get it to hold its shape a little better. And this is pure copper wire. You want to sort of get as pure grade copper as possible. Obviously it's going to be more conductive that way. So basically I am just going to wing it. So I'm just going to see how far I can get this pushed up the end of the cane. And the chickens are having a fight over there. Okay, so that's gone up a good couple of inches, so that should do. So I'm pushed it up basically until it's hit that first knuckle of the cane, and I'm just going to bend it back, and we'll just come straight up the cane for a certain length, because I'd like to get it into the ground a good 6 inches if I can. So that will be going into the ground there, and then from there on, and I haven't done this before, as you can probably tell, from there on I'm just going to start going around clockwise. It's actually easier if I just twist the cane. Don't know how many twists really need doing. I'm just going to sort of do a full twist about every one of my hands. Like I say, there's all different types of antennas. If you look on the internet, you'll see all different designs. Some people use quite short ones with a lot more twists, almost looks like a screw. Little short ones about 1 foot long. I've seen other ways of using copper in little pots for starting seedlings, just using a basic little coil that lays on the surface of the compost. And that's supposed to help the seedlings germinate and start to grow. Oh, this wire is actually quite stiff, which is a good thing. So I'm just going to wedge the cane in the end of the bench there as I'm getting near the top. Right, so what I'll do now is I'll just cut that off. I'll probably come over the top a few inches. I'll cut it off about there. Tighten that around. And then literally just come off the top there. And I'm just going to, I don't know if it makes any difference, I'm just going to come straight up and then get the top of the copper and just bend it over, just so that if they're in the beds and I by accident bend over, I don't want to pierce my eye straight on the end of a bit of copper wire, because that won't be pleasant. So I mean, that's the basic idea. It doesn't look anything special, I know. So we just got coils going up the cane. Once that's in the ground, if it goes in the ground about that much, then that's a 4-foot cane. It's going to be about 4 foot out of the ground. Now, I have read on a couple of sites that they say the best antennas are about 2 meters tall. Well, I just want to get as many antennas as I can. So a 4-foot antenna. I've still got a fair bit of wire left, so I'm hoping I'll get 6 or 8 antennas. And what I'm going to do is I'll put some in some of the beds that are already full and planted, but I'll just put them in 1/2 and then just see over the rest of the growing season whether it makes any difference to that half of the bed. So I have read also, I think, a decent antenna. I think they said a 2 meter antenna will sort of cover an area of about 200 square feet. So that's 20 by 20. Sorry, 10 by 20. So I think if I put one of these antennas, maybe 2, my beds are 4 meters long by 1.2 wide. So if I put 1 or 2 antennas in 1/2, then I'll just sort of see if that makes any difference to that half. Like I say, it's not an exact science. You can't really find anything that tells you exactly what to do, and everyone's opinion is different. So really, I'm just kind of winging it like I always do, and making it my own way, and just seeing how it does. So I'm just going to knock a few more up like this, and then we'll go and put them in the garden. So I've got 8 antennas made, and I'm out with 4-foot canes now, so that'll do to get me started. And I thought, you know, I've got a little bit left over. I'm only 5'7", so I'm hoping I might be able to harness some atmospheric pressure, and the next video I'll be 6'2". Touch wood, fingers crossed. Here's hoping. Let's go and put these out in the garden. So the first place I'm going to put them, just for a bit of fun, I'm growing 2 Dills Atlantic giant pumpkins. Just going to see how big I can get them to grow. So I've got to use them here, haven't I? You know, I've got to give them every chance I can to get as big as possible. So I'm going to put them right in sort of where the roots will be, and they should go down quite easy in there, because I put a whole barrel load of compost for each one. So I'm going to put 1 per plant. There we go. That's those 2 done. Right, in this bed I've got 3 butternut squash quite close together, because the plan is I'm going to let the tendrils sort of go out along the pathways. So I'm going to kind of put one in the middle there, and that's about 18 inches then from each of the centres of all 3 of them, so they can kind of share that one. And then I'm going to put another one. I've got 4 courgettes here, so I'm going to put one in the centre of those that they can hopefully kind of all share as well. So that leaves 4. So I think I'll put these up in the beds over here. So what I'll do, because these leeks are going to stay in obviously into the winter, I'll use this leek bed as a bit of a trial, and I will put 2 in this half of the bed, and I'll leave the bottom half, and just see if there's any difference at all in the size and quality of the leeks when it comes to harvest time. So halfway is about there. So if I go about there, so that's half the bed covered, and yeah, we'll see how they do. So the next place I'm going to use these two last canes. I've got parsnips in this bed, parsnips in this bed. These are my sow grown parsnips. These were direct sown, but they were only done about 2 weeks later, so similar sort of size they should be. So I'm going to put these in this bed here and just see if that makes any difference to the size of the parsnips. There we go. We got thunderstorms due tomorrow, so I'm going to stay out of the way of them just in case. So anyway guys, that's it for today. I will keep you updated later on in the season as to whether I think it's made any difference with the crops I've put them next to compared to any others that haven't got the antennas. And that's it. We will see you next time guys. Take it easy.